things you can do in this world without an education. You can breathe, you can eat, of course you can even sleep. You can also get a job. But what type of job you want depends on your self-inflicted limitations. Now, if you want employment with a long-lasting career, then you're going to need an education. And getting an education means choosing the right school based on your personality, based on your proposed major, and based on the location where you want to spend the next 4 years of your life during your academic learning process. Now, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme where you jump in and you jump out like shooting a jump shot. It's a process, and it takes small steps, and each one of those steps help you get towards your goal. Now, I'm going to talk to you today about the importance of academics and the impact of athletics. I know that you're all student athletes, and you've decided to play your respective sports. It's great. But now, you've probably started when you were in elementary school, through middle school, to high school. You may have started even younger than that. Like Tiger Woods, when he was 3 years old, his father taught him about the history of golf as a little kid. And now, the late, great Earl Woods, Tiger's father, they taught those important aspects about golf. Tiger remembered those things forever. Now, of course, some of you, how many of you know where Tiger Woods went to college? Okay, yeah, Stanford. Okay, Tiger went to Stanford. Very good. How many know what high school he went to? Okay, it's a tough one. He went to Western High School in Anaheim, California. Now, of course, his parents made a commitment to his education and homeschooled him all the way up through middle school and allowed him time to get to high school. And his education was something that he knew was going to be important to him. That was going to be the driving factor in making sure that his career after sports was going to be there for him to make a long-lasting career for himself. Now, because I know some of you are thinking, Tiger Woods, when I say he graduated on time, what does that mean? Well, that means he graduated within 4 years. Went to high school as a freshman, graduated as a senior. Okay? What does that not mean? Well, the opposite of that is he not on time. Okay? And not on time means you don't have the minimum requirements of a 2.0 GPA to get registered with the NCAA's clearinghouse. That's where all the colleges go, and they look and they make sure all the kids are qualified, what are called qualifiers. That means you've passed all your core credits, you have a 2.0, at least a 2.0 GPA, which means now they can look at you. But if you don't have those minimum requirements, then you don't get a scholarship. And that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to continue their sport or continue their education. Some of you that are thinking, I want to get a scholarship, well, you have to make sure you get to that point. All right, so now on the flip side of that, okay, so say you have a 4.0. Well, let's say you have a 3.0. Well, what does that mean? Well, with the higher GPA, means you're going to get more money. Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, Joe is a 2-year starting running back. He's, got about 5,000, 6,000 yards and 40 touchdowns, but he's only got a 2.0 GPA. But of course, now we have Eric. Eric is a 2-time All-American at his high school. He's been 2 times first-team All-State. He's got about 2,500 yards, and he's only got about 15 touchdowns, but he has a 4.0 GPA. And then there's Marcus. Marcus is at a public school. Marcus has 1,500 yards. He's got about 12 touchdowns. He's been honorable All-State honorable mention. He's been a 2-time All-American. But Marcus has a 3.2 GPA. Well, I'll tell you what, to make a long story short, a college coach along with the academic advisor at the college, they're looking to give Eric and Marcus a 50% academic scholarship and a 50% athletic scholarship. And what's that? That's a full scholarship. Well, that's what you want. You're looking to get a scholarship. You can get 50% academic and athletic, put those together, and what that means is now a college can get a 2 for 1. Instead of giving one guy all the money that they need for athletic scholarship, they can get two guys for that same amount of money. So now that school is saving money, and they'll still be able to get two quality athletes. Well, what happened to Joe? Well, of course, Joe, he did end up getting a scholarship. It was to a Division II school, a bottom-tier school, but he still got, an athletic scholarship. Maybe not what he wanted, but with a higher education, that would have helped him out. Okay, that's the importance of having higher grades. That's the importance of academics. And we already know that you're athletes, but you got to work on your academics. As an athlete, sports have always had a great tradition. It's been great that, dads can bond with their sons and play catch with either baseball or football. Moms that are soccer moms that drive their kids from one game to practice to games, from one tournament to another tournament. Well, those are great things. And even here in Philadelphia, the city is elated with the World Series champions, Philadelphia Phillies. But of course, that's just about the impact that sports has on our personal growth and on society. The greatest impact is on your personal growth, your determination, your sportsmanship. Those are the intrinsic values that you get from playing sports. I'm going to talk to you quickly about an example of a guy with great determination, Michael Jordan. Everybody knows he's the greatest basketball player of all time. Did you know Michael Jordan was cut from his 8th grade basketball team? Cut. That means there were approximately 150 other players better than Michael Jordan. Better than Michael Jordan? You've all seen how Michael Jordan plays, or you may have seen highlights, but better than Michael Jordan. But what Michael's dad did was, Michael's dad convinced the high school coach that was working with the middle school team, the guy that cut him, he asked the guy, look, can you work with my son, throughout the year, any free time you have, so he can help get his game better? And Michael did that. For a whole year, Michael worked with that coach. He worked on his dribbling, he worked on his free throws, every aspect of his game Michael worked on. And of course, when he got into high school, tried out for the team, he eventually was a 3-year starter on his high school basketball team. He got a scholarship to North Carolina. Then, of course, he got drafted in the first round to the Chicago Bulls, of course, my hometown. Well, that's a great example of determination and perseverance. And you too can do that same thing of determination and perseverance. But you have to make sure you have a plan to take the steps to get to that level. So the one thing, I was fortunate enough to meet with Mike a long time ago when I was trying to play in the National Football League. And Michael told me, look, man, no one plans to fail. They only fail to plan. And I took that advice and I said, you know what, that's right. I'm going to go out and do the best I can. And of course, I was eventually fortunate enough to make it on a team. But I know that if I'd have known then what I know now, which is why I'm talking to you today, I want to give you the information, to give you an opportunity to take your game to the next level, to help you so that you can become a better athlete, a better student athlete now instead of at a later time. Now, the one thing I want to leave you with before I go is to leave you with, this last message, kind of a tongue twister I always talk about. How do you know what you don't know you're supposed to know if no one tells you what you should know? I want you to think about that. Now, thank you very much. I want to thank you for your time. I want you to be enlightened. I want you to be encouraged. And most of all, be empowered. Thank you very much.